Hi and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name's Ruben.
And I'm Kay.
What does it take to pass
the life in the UK test? Try that again.
Okay. What does it take to pass the life in the UK test? And how can you do it easily? Okay, so if you're a returning subscriber, sorry, this is a little bit random for you. We normally do reviews and film reviews, TV reviews, anything entertainment-wise. Today we are doing this because we passed.
We passed today.
Yeah, so celebrate with us. We are celebrating, but we're doing this video because we thought, well, hang on a second. People are going to actually want to know how to pass this easy. And if you want some entertainment value at the end of this video, we're going to do what, babe?
We're going to reenact just a few of the key moments from when you actually go to do your test.
So there's definitely still entertainment value. But if you've come here because you want some top tips, we'll definitely give you some top tips. And a really easy way, well, I found it a really easy way to study for this exam.
Okay. So there are two ways, I feel, that you can prepare for the Life in the UK test. If you are like me, now I love test taking. I love knowing everything. I'm a bit of an academic geeky nerd. And so for me, it was a case of getting the guidebook, the handbook, and learning everything. I read the whole thing. I made notes and summarized the whole thing. And then I color-coded my notes. I mean, there's just pages and pages, pages and pages and pages and pages and pages. You don't have to do that. So that's how I did it. And then when I was fully confident, I did loads of mock tests until I was getting consistently 100% on every single test. However, I am just one way of studying and preparing for the Life in the UK test.
Okay.
Over to Ruben.
So Kirsten actually has a really great memory. And so if you were born with someone that can look and read something and retain that sort of information, then this may be a good way for you to study because you'll be able to color code and you rememberize. That's a great word.
Rememberize.
Rememberize. However, if you're like me and really struggle to remember things, and when it comes to tests, you find them really daunting and you get really nervous and you're like, I'm never going to pass this. You don't have a good self-esteem about your smarts because you think, I'm not smart enough to pass this. Look at the size of that book. I'll never pass this. I got you covered, guys. So the best thing I would suggest doing is buying the official test. It's test questions. What's it called?
It's called the official Life in the UK test e-learning subscription, and we will put a link to it in the description below.
We will buy that. And so this is how I did it. For a month, I would say maybe 6 weeks. Give yourself 6 weeks. For a month, every day do 3 mock tests. Okay, so this is what you do. You go straight to the mock questions. The test, there are 24 in a test, and you just go through all of them. And the first few times you're going to be guessing for the majority of the time. You might know some of the stuff. You might be like, hey, look at me. I actually, probably you're going to fail a few times. But then what happens is you can see which ones you've gotten wrong. And you go through those ones. Once you've gone through the test, you see results, and you just check those X's, and you rememberize.
You rememberize.
And then, as you find that you go through the tests over and over and over again, really easy. It takes you just a few minutes to do a test. It's actually really quick because they're multiple choice questions. You start picking up the patterns, how they ask the questions. You're doing it 3 times a day. It doesn't take long. You can do it just like in bed. You can do it a couple of tests. In the morning, you can do one. In a lunch break, you can do one. And you can probably, bang out 5 or 6 tests easily in one day.
Yeah,
and that's all
easy.
that is. It's just doing tests and then checking which ones you got wrong. And then after a few weeks, you'll start noticing you'll be passing consistently, only getting a couple of wrong, a couple of the random ones. And that is my top tip of how to pass, because I did it that way and I passed, and I found the questions really easy. And that's for someone that really struggles with exams.
Okay. Just a side note on the official Life in the UK test e-learning subscription, obviously you have to pay for it. If you choose not to do that, there are quite a number of good websites that you can go to that will give you practice tests as well that are completely free. In fact, you can even get hold of the official handbook in a PDF version, which I found on one of the websites. And if I can find it again, I'll put it in the link in the description below.
Okay, so if you're still watching, now we're going to give you some of our top tips about the questions the actual questions that you get. So, one thing you may find when you're actually in the exam and you're sitting on the test is that they try and trick you with how they ask questions.
Yeah.
So you'll be going through the questions, you've studied it because you've just gone through it and you think you have it all memorized in your brain, and you're like, hang on a minute. Sometimes they'll say is, to, or not to change the format of the question. Would you like to give us an example?
So there was a question that came up a lot in our mock tests, which was, in what areas can the devolved administrations still govern themselves? And then you know the answer to that. So the question I had in the test was, in what area does the central government still hold power over the devolved administrations? So it was the exact opposite of the question that I'd gotten used to, which of course it's multiple choice, so it's easy to pick out the answers. But just be aware that they might add the word not, or they might take it away. And if you're used to the questions, make sure that you slow yourself down, that you read the question carefully, check that there isn't a word that's been added or removed in the question that you're really familiar with, because it's very easy when you're confident, it's easy to make silly mistakes.
Yeah. You will have loads of time left over from your test.
Loads of time.
You will, so don't worry about your time. My other top tip is you can flag things that you're really not sure of. So you know how many questions you can get wrong in order to pass. It's 6.
Yeah.
It's a maximum of 6 to get wrong. So when you're doing the questions themselves, just count how many you know for sure that you've gotten right, and then check how many you need to get your pass. And then those ones that you flagged, go back. Remember, you have a 25% chance of actually just guessing it right.
Exactly,
and
or a 50% chance.
And with your knowledge, if you're able to, the way I do it, if there's a question that I'm struggling with, there's a process of elimination of stuff that is not going to be.
Yeah.
And so that way you can really get close to that result, even just by guessing.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe have a look at that, flag them. Don't make yourself all nervous, because I think a lot of people do get themselves into a state.
Like me, I was shaking. I mean, I love taking tests, but I have to get 100%. So I was shaking. Of course, they don't actually tell you what you got.
They don't tell you.
Pass or
They
fail.
just tell you if you've passed or failed. So that's annoying. I kind of want to know.
That is, yeah. I want to know how many I got wrong.
Okay, so that's all the information we got. But don't forget, we're going to show you what it looks like at the moment in COVID time, how they...
Yeah, so we went and did our test during a national lockdown in the middle of the second wave of the pandemic in the UK. So yes, and they do say on their website that they have endeavoured to make the test centres as secure as they possibly can, and they were not kidding. I mean, this is the most COVID secure place I've ever been to in my life.
Yeah, it was intense.
Come, one at a time. Stop. Show me your phone. Show me switching off your phone. Is it off? Put it in your pocket. Show me your hands. Now, follow the orange arrows to the bathroom and go and wash your hands, and then sit in seat number 1. Number 1, step forward. What ID did you bring? It must be the same as the one you registered with. I'm not going to touch it.
Okay.
Can you confirm your name and address? Sorry. Can you confirm your name and date of birth?
Adam Sandler, 4th of the 2nd, 142.
And where were you born?
Yugoslavia.
Right. I will hold on to this, but I will not touch it. Can you take a clean pen from the clean pen pot? Don't touch the pot.
Okay.
Find your name down here and sign next to it. Return the pen to the dirty pen pot.
Okay.
Now I need to take a photograph of you.
Okay.
So, face the camera. Remove your hat. Remove your jumper.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
You may remove your mask. Make a serious face. Remove your glasses.
But I need these to see.
The camera needs them not to be there.
Okay.
Serious face. Don't smile. Look normal. Okay.
And this is when I'm going to put my hat back on.
Okay. You can't wear your hat. Leave your hat off. Okay. I need to check you. You can put your mask back on. I need to check in your ears.
What?
I need to check in your ears.
Okay. My ears. What's wrong with my ears?
I'm making sure you don't have any earbuds.
Okay.
Put your arms out straight.
Okay.
Turn around. Arms out straight. Can you please empty your pockets? Okay, and the other one? Okay, I just need to check your sleeves. And can you pull up the bottom of your trousers, please? Okay, other one. Very good. Retrieve your belongings and follow me to the lockers.
Okay.
Oh, you should have followed me, I guess.
Yeah. Wrong way.
Wow, yes. So as you can see, it's very COVID secure and it's very secure as well. They check you for everything. Like, you cannot have any crib notes or like mobile devices or anything hiding on your person.
They actually check my glasses as well, my rims.
They check the rims of your glasses.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, they take it very, very seriously. And then you will put everything away in a locker. In fact, you do that first, and then they check you with the wand and everything. And then they take you into the test area.
And they check your ID again.
Yes, they check your ID again. And then they douse you with some more hand sanitizer before you are allowed to touch the computer.
Yeah.
So we should also just say that there are a number of practice questions, which obviously you're not used to having in your mock tests. So don't be put off by the practice questions. They have absolutely no bearing on how difficult or how easy the test is going to be.
Yeah.
My practice questions were about the same in terms of difficulty as the rest of my test. And I was very frustrated by them because for the 5 practice questions, I was like, I know all this. This is like, I know these ones. Why can't this be in my test? But for you, it was the opposite.
Yeah, they were the most difficult questions, thankfully, and the rest were really easy. There's the easy questions, so it's the luck of the draw, really.
Yeah.
As to what questions you get.
It's just a random sample. They can ask you absolutely anything from the handbook, including the introduction. So don't skip the introduction.
One last top tip.
Yeah.
Do gap. Explain to them gap.
Mind the gap. Okay, so that is something, if you've lived in the UK for any length of time, you will know that whenever you get on a train, there's the broadcaster who says, mind the gap, meaning the gap between the platform and the train.
Mind the gap.
So this is actually really helpful when you're learning about the flag, the Union Jack, and how it's made up. So if you mind the gap, you will know that it's made up of GAP. So those are the patron saints that are represented in the 3 flags that have been used to create the Union Jack. So you've got G for George, he's good old England, and England is the upright red cross. So we always start upright and then things go sideways after that. So that's an easy way to remember that. The next one is Andrew, and if you say it with a Scottish accent like Andrew, it's much easier to remember because you're like, oh, of course, that's Scotland. And the Scottish flag is blue with a white diagonal cross. And then, of course, you've got Patrick, who is the patron saint of Northern Ireland, and you have the white background, red diagonal cross.
Yeah.
So mind the gap, GAP for George, Andrew, and Patrick.
St. Paddy's Day.
St. Paddy's Day, think leprechauns.
And that actually helped me. That question to come up in 2 variations in the test, so
Yeah.
You might get 2 points there. Yeah, I think it's a question they like to ask.
Yes.
Probably all of them.
So the beginning part that we've just shown you, where you go through all of these security procedures, was actually the most nerve-wracking part of the whole process. The actual test itself, don't be scared of that. It's just like doing a mock test. But because you go through all of these weird situations beforehand, it does raise your stress hormone and your stress level. So just remember to keep breathing and don't get stressed and just relax. And if you can, if there's other people in the waiting room, have a little chat with them before you go in, because it'll help to just calm your nerves.
Good tip, babe. All right, so those are all our top tips. If you have any more questions, do chat to us in the comments below. We'll be happy to help get you past. Don't worry if you're a subscriber. We will return to our scheduled reviews and TV reviews and entertainment stuff.
Yes, but first we're going to have some tea and cake.
Yes, tea and cake. We're going to
celebrate.
And
watch The Crown.
Yes, and watch The Crown. All right, thanks so much for watching. But most of all, until next time, remember,
live long and Tuesday.